Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's episode is called Marriage Monsters, people who specialize in destroying marriages for profit. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our free channel. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up and a lot of great breaking news stories. So make sure you click on the notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new story. Also, I want you to check out hollywoodiscalling.com. It's a great gift that allows you to purchase live phone calls from more than 100 celebrities for just $19.95. So give it a try. hollywoodiscalling.com. Now, let's get started. There is an entire subculture of people out there who specialize in destroying marriages for profit. They're called marriage monsters, and they have made full-time careers and very profitable businesses out of targeting successful people and destroying their marriages by getting involved with them romantically. Sometimes it's just a relationship, sometimes it's a marriage. But either way, it's going to end badly for the targets. Just as some people on Wall Street specialize in attacking and dismantling companies so that they can then sell them off piece by piece for more money, so too are there people who specialize in targeting other individuals, oftentimes married individuals, so that they can destroy their marriages and take some of their money or all of their money in the process. So who are these marriage monsters and how do they operate? Well, it's difficult to categorize them, but generally speaking, they're very attractive, super gregarious and outgoing. They're very calculated and financially manipulative. They're also extremely secretive. If you find one and you take a deep investigative look into their backgrounds, you'll often find many relationships or marriages in their backgrounds in which they take advantage of the other person and their money and their assets when they break up with them. One thing they all have in common, and that is that they're extremely charming and fun to be around. They're also extremely good at using their sexual charm to manipulate the person they're dating to try and get them to marry them. One thing we noticed about the way they operate is that they usually target someone less good looking or charming or experienced than they are. This almost always provides them with an upper hand in the relationship and makes it easier for them to manipulate and exploit their target. Another thing that's very common is that marriage monsters tend not to work, but yet somehow they have significant savings and assets, despite probably not having had a resume or a job for the last 10 years or so. Another thing that we noticed about marriage monsters is that they usually put off having children until later in life. The reason for this is that having children would interfere with their business model and make it more difficult to attract people in the future who they can rip off or exploit. Not being encumbered by children makes it much easier to also date a larger number of people at the same time. That's an important part of their business model because the more people they can date or tease or manipulate at the same time, the greater their odds of extracting money from some or all of them. The next thing you'll notice about a marriage monster is that they move often. It's very common for them to move on a regular basis, sometimes as often as once or twice a year. Some of them even have multiple residences in case things get heated and they need to hide out from an irate or angry victim that they have stolen from or attempted to steal from. Some of them may have criminal backgrounds, but most of them don't because they're really careful about not getting caught. So how do you protect yourself from a marriage monster and prevent them from cleaning your financial clock? The first thing you need to do is to recognize them when they target you. Ask yourself some questions. Is this person asking you way too many questions about your job or your finances or your background? Is this person out of my league when it comes to looks? Is this person reluctant to answer many questions about their own background? Are they really secretive and guarded? Is this person working now or have they worked at all in the last 10 or 20 years? How many relationships has this person had over the last decade? Does this person have any social media accounts, or are they reluctant, or do they refuse to allow you to see their social media accounts? Do they have more than one social media account? Does this person seem to have an awful lot of friends that they claim not to be sleeping with now, but that they did sleep with in the past? Do your friends and family seem to instinctively dislike the person you're dating now? Is this person a brand whore? Meaning, are they obsessed with purchasing things only if they're made by the right brand or the most expensive brand? Do they seem overly helpful and overly attentive when you're taking care of your business or your money? Do you get the feeling that they're really investigating you rather than just getting to know you? Is there a predatory sense to the way they conduct themselves? If you answer yes to a lot of these questions, then you should terminate the relationship immediately, because if you don't, it'll end up being a life-altering lesson for you down the road. They may take your money, your car, your investments, or even your house if they can get away with it, and they'll try very hard. Oftentimes, especially if you live in places like California, where the divorce laws are very anti-male, they will wipe you out financially using the divorce courts, and there's nothing you'll be able to do about it. And don't make the mistake of believing that California divorce judges will respect or honor the terms of your prenup. They may, and they may not. But you know what happens with a divorce decree? There is no appealing it. So you have to be really careful. So, in closing, we recommend that you avoid marriage monsters at all costs, no matter how good looking they are. Thank you for watching. And I want to tell you that we're going to have more great celebrity interviews coming up and more breaking news stories in the future. So we encourage you to subscribe to our free channel and click on the notification bell so you can get notified every time we post a new story. Thank you, and we shall see you soon. Bye-bye.